Hey YouTube, this is Other Prepper 1, and we are alive and well, doing great. I think this is day 8, and no idea when the power will get back on. But we're fine, because we're preppers. We're blessed. We have a lot of resources here. So my family's fine, Nate's great, his family's fine. We're just tired, trying to do a lot of stuff, trying to help a lot of people. Yesterday I was actually really tired, and I needed to help someone, and they I don't know, they weren't as cooperative, they weren't as proactive as they should have been getting back to me, so I could have helped them. So I was like, forget it, I don't. And then I got thought, what would Jesus do? And I felt guilty. I said, you know what, it's a little inconvenience for me, but it's going to help them. People need to be proactive. And I hope people are more proactive after they see what's happening here. Most of my viewers are not in this area, not in the upstate of South Carolina, in Georgia, in the mountains of West North Carolina. So you could just watch videos. So I'm praying that you will use this as a learning experience. I definitely am. Things I can improve upon. I've realized one thing though, there's more people that have needs than you have resources to take care of. Luckily right now I can see there's an end date. This is a storm, it's going to be over with, or it's going to be fixed very quickly. So you can be freer to help people. If there was an event that you had no end date, and you couldn't see an end date, SHT event, whatever it be, I would have to be more selective in helping people, just because of my resources can't be replenished. Right now, I can give things away, or lend things, because I know, hey, Amazon's there, Walmart's there, Lowe's is there. But in a worst case event, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to really tighten up, because priority one are my little grandkids. Definitely my wife, but the grandkids, if they're comfortable, the wife is happy. That's for sure. Their mom and dad are happy. So I've learned a lot. I've learned that gas is king, and you better store a lot of it if you want to be comfortable. But gas is only for a short-term emergency. If it's something long-term, you better make sure that gallon of gas is getting maximum use. And that goes back to, for me, I have a ton of solar panels sitting on a pallet, and they need to get up. I probably could have had them up by now, just so busy. But I need to get those up because they could be making precious power. Today is the first real day of making any power. It's just been so overcast, and it's been overcast for the last month. Mr. Off Grid lives totally off grid, and he says it's been a terrible month. I mean, like the last 30 days or probably longer. He has not made the power he needs to be, just because the clouds are in the way. I have some trees that I'm planning to cut down this fall. I need to get those down, because that would increase my power a lot. Probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'd be making some massive power for a lot longer. Now it takes me about 11:30 because of these trees, so I got to get those out of the way. Looking at, you better have stocking supplies are great and get you through a short-term emergency. You better have infrastructure in place, and you better have resources that can make something or produce something or do something. You better have gardens, you better have fruit trees, you better have animals. But then it goes back to animals. 99% of us homesteaders, we go out and buy our feed. So I've learned a lot. I've learned that people are so inadequately prepared for an emergency. It's heartbreaking. You don't know if you should just, I don't want to say, cuss them out and yell at them and say, you're so stupid. You got little children, and you're not prepared for even a couple days on your own. Hopefully this motivates people. I know a lot of people are just broke. That's the bottom line. They're just using all of their money just to live, to pay the bills that have just gotten really out of hand. I notice that you better be part of a tight-knit group of people. It could be a church group, it could be a community group. You might say, Dave, I got these 3 preppers. Yeah, you know what? I know a lot of people that have preppers. They get together, but they live 10, 15 miles apart. You might not be able to assist each other. Are you able to walk to someone's house? The biggest thing that I have used is the e-bikes. E-bikes. It's just not a cool thing to have. It is a necessity. As soon as the storm was over, and it was still a little bit windy, it probably wasn't the safest time to get out, but I got out on the e-bike, and I checked on some people, I checked on some property, and I saw a lot of crazy things. The thing I saw was a culvert right next to my house had started to wash out. One whole lane was impassable. So I go over the other lane with the e-bike, no problem. At this point, everything was good with the left lane. All of a sudden, a big full-size truck goes over that lane. And I'm like, wow, he risked a lot. He weighs a lot. He's crazy. And then he went about 100 yards, and there's a tree down, there's power lines down, so he had to back up. In the process of backing up, I watched him. I was just about ready to holler stop, but the new truck has a backup camera. He dropped his back two tires into a ditch. So he was resting on the frame, so his tires were just spinning. Definitely he had no way to get out. So while I'm watching this, a Jeep was driving down the road, must have been watching us, did not see that side of the culvert was out, and smashed in it. I did not see the actual impact in it, but when he did that, I immediately turned and saw him bouncing out of it. Luckily, it was a big Jeep with big tires, and he was okay, and I was just like, wow, that guy was lucky. So he turns around and goes home, and so I met two people that made stupid decisions within just a split second. I went home, and a few hours later, I came back out, and guess what? A little old lady had not seen that side of the culvert was out and plowed her car into it. Had to have a tow truck come and pull her out. The guy with the truck a few hours later, my neighbor, had a piece of heavy equipment, drove down there and just pulled him out with ease. So now I understand when the police and local law enforcement or local authorities say, stay home, keep off the streets. It's because there's sometimes, I don't want to say, there's people that aren't thinking. That's all I'll say. I don't want to insult these people, but they're not thinking. They're not going slow. They're not taking in the environment. And all three of those people could have avoided serious problems. When I saw that the car was in there, the other side of the road disappeared totally. It caved in also. So we have this big hole in the road. They're going to have to do major fixing. But we have a lot of bridges out around here. So that one little culvert's going to be, it'll be a while before it's repaired. What else did I learn? There's some items I learned that were really handy and helped. I learned, I pretty much loaned out a ton of power boxes. I loaned out a bunch of generators. I loaned out as much as I could. And I did that because I knew it's short term. I knew I'm gonna be able to recover. I'll get these items back. I'll change the oil in the generators, and keep going. The Lord has blessed me with some resources. And if you're blessed with resources, you better be accountable for that. If you can help people, you should help people. If it's not going to hurt your family, you better be willing at least to help people. You might say, you know, that's the Christian thing to do. No, that's the human thing to do. That's just empathy when you see someone suffering. Now, there's going to come a time or an emergency or an SHTF that you're going to have to use a lot more restraint. And I understand that. So, no power. I think this is the 8th day. Nate is with a group of guys, 4-wheel drive trucks, Jeeps. They're in North Carolina right now trying to get aid to people that need it. They had some contacts with some churches or one church, but they had different stops to do. They're helping. They were told not to give any of their supplies to even volunteer fire departments because FEMA in that area that he's going has taken over there, and any donations they're using and they're distributing. That's just facts. You hear a lot of things going on with FEMA. Some of it's true, some of it's not, some of it's blown out of proportion. But I will say FEMA is just inept. It's too big. It's too much of a bureaucracy. It can't do the job. It's not lean and nimble like volunteers. The guys that went up there in the convoy with Nate, 4-wheel drive trucks, Jeeps. I think part of them was a Jeep club that went up there. They're nimble. They can react. There's probably some combat vets up there. They got common sense. There's good old boys. And I use the term redneck with all love because I guess I'm a redneck. They're rednecks. They're country boys. They're going to be able to think on their feet and get by. So they're delivering supplies. I will be a happy dad when he calls me, when he gets back to civilization, where he gets back to having a cell phone coverage. And he can say, hey, we delivered all, we're good. I've only had one text from him, so they're doing good. And so he'll be able to see. Now, they're not going into the very hardest hit area. They're doing a quick run up. They left early this morning. They're going to deliver it. I don't live far from these areas. You know, an hour, you're going to be in areas that are hard hit from my house. 2 hours maybe into some areas. So we're very close to these areas. We still have, in my county, I think only like 60% of the people right now have power. I think there's 40% without, something like that, or 49. They're making slow progress in getting power restored, but there's a lot of damage. And the crews, I've talked to them, and the funny thing is I've talked to a couple supervisors, and that e-bike has given me the ability to jump on that e-bike and go and find them, just see what they're doing, see how the repairs are doing. They won't even give you an answer, like, how many more days, or when do you think? They say, we're doing our best, I don't know. So it's probably a couple more days for me, but they're getting closer to my area. What they did first was, which is not normal. Normally when the power goes off, they come into my area and they fix everything and they get everybody up and they sort of just keep on going. This time what they're doing is the main lines, because the substations went down. They're doing main lines. I think they're called three-phase. They're doing the three-phase lines, and then when they get all that done, they'll come and hit all the offsprings and all the dead-end roads, all the groups of people that have 10 or 15 in a little area. So hopefully soon they'll be getting my area up and running, because I got a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to keep things running. And I got people I'm helping with generators and power box. I'm getting them, I'm bringing them home, I'm charging them for them because they have no generator or solar panels. And it's easier for me, instead of going over there and setting up a couple solar panels, because today is the first day. I'm just not making any power just because of the clouds. And during the time the sun hits my panels, it's just cloudy. So I'm tired. I'm exhausted. But it's short term. In a week from now, we'll look back and say, did I do my best to help people? Did I do, what would Jesus do? That's what's keeping me going. He would help as many people as possible without jeopardizing my family. And my family's not jeopardized. We got multiple generators. We got solar. We're good. I can take a shower. Wash clothes. But I am going to make some major changes on the house, and I'm gonna put in a full solar system with a backup generator. And the reason is, I want my wife 100% comfortably, and that will free up some of my solar boxes and other things so I can help people. But the reason I stay here was, first of all, I have to man the homestead, man the generators, just for safety. And that's why Nate's gone and I'm here, just to keep somebody here to keep things running. And I have elderly parents. I have lots of elderly people I'm trying to look out after in my area. So I'm here. I would rather be up in North Carolina, but it was better that he went and I stay here and hold the home front down. Oh man, there's so much, that I need to sit down and write down some notes. Our prepper group is going to have a meeting. We're going to do an AAR, after action review, so we can get everyone's input and see what, people learn from each other, and see, in the future, what we can do better. I appreciate my church. My church has been, just not all words, just not all, their action. We made meals for our shut-ins, meals for, the linemen, meals for anybody. It didn't matter if you were a hungry person. We had a sign out front, hey, we got hot meals, come get something to eat. And they had routes where people would go out and distribute food to people that needed it. Or you find out something, hey, somebody needs food, bang, take them a hot meal. I'm worried another crisis that has no ending date. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to use wisdom in what you can do for people. It's going to be extremely hard. you might have to say no at that point, because there's resources. There's no endless resources. I have a finite amount of supplies, and priority is the family. Priority is my close relatives nearby and my neighbors. But helping perfect strangers now is easy, because Walmart's going to be there, and Walmart is there. Things are starting to open up. I did see a lot of places were cash only, and if you had a credit card or a debit card, you were out of luck. So having cash on hand and having $1 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, not just $100. You might have, hey, got $1,000 and it's all in $100 bills. That could be worthless. People don't have change. You might have to, give up some money or buy some other products. So it's closer to $100. But having the exact change is so critical. A stack of 1s and 5s and 10s, you can't beat that. The amount, I don't keep up on Facebook at all. But my son, my daughter-in-law were really just giving me a lot of information, and a buddy was people just totally helpless. People wanting help, it's like, get out there and do it yourself at first. People not having any initiative or drive to remedy their own situation. They think someone else has the responsibility to help them. I saw a lot of that. Luckily, in the country, I actually found some people that needed help. I don't know if it was being too prideful. Didn't take help. I had a couple people I had to force the help on them. I knew there was a need. I don't know if they were prideful or they were just like, hey, someone else is worse than me. Use that for someone else. I don't know. But if someone's trying to bless you, be open to that. Let them bless you. Don't be a mooch or anything like that or take advantage of people. But if you got a need and there's somebody say, I can meet that need, be grateful. That's the Lord working. You say, man, I need this thing, and then someone shows up. No. No, the Lord probably sent them to help you. So be grateful. Probably so much I need to say. I didn't write any notes down, so I'm just coming off the top of my head. Devastation in North Carolina. Devastation. It's going to be years before they rebuild. I wouldn't blame some people if they picked up and left. I do want to say the Appalachian area, that area of the country is very independent, very patriotic. And I'm trying to figure out if the government just wants those areas to collapse. Because those aren't areas that, really support the government. They don't toe the line of the government being the supreme power. They're independent people. And you could see that for hundreds and hundreds of years. Back in the Civil War, some of these areas, fiercely independent. So, I am fine. I'm tired. But my spirits are up. I've seen a lot of kindness. I've gotten so many people. Oh my gosh, so many emails. David, are you okay? Do you need help? I got people offering to bring supplies, anywhere. They say, where is there a need? I got supplies. I will tell you, do not donate to FEMA. Do not donate to the American Red Cross. Your money will get there, maybe 20% of it. The rest will go for Red Cross overhead. Donate to a charity that that will get that money, as much of it, into the hands. If you're part of a church, find another church up there. Contact them. Find them and say, hey, we can bring some food up there so you could distribute that. We're not going to be distributing to individuals. Our job away from it is to take it up and get it in the hands of an organization. And churches do a great job. Small churches, they're going to take it and give it to their members. They're going to give it to anyone. So don't think, hey, I'm Baptist, I'm going to give it to a Baptist church, and it's only going to go to Baptist people. No. When we were giving out food right here locally, we didn't, are you Baptist? Oh, you're not a Christian, you're an atheist. Go to the back of the line. We don't have food for you. No. You welcome those people in and meet that need, because that's what Jesus would have done. So, for some reason, that's just pounded into my head. What would Jesus do? And if you say that, if you're going through these crises, you're more willing to help people. Because you can't argue with that. If someone has a need and you have the resources to meet it, and you say, nah, I'm going to say that for me, go away. No, it's like, you know what? He would give the shirt off his back. And he actually gave a lot more. What did Jesus do? He gave his own life for your salvation. He gave it all so we as mankind can have eternal life. So, have that in your head. I saw so many good, kind things coming out of this. Yes, total destruction, but people want to help. People want to give. People want to share. People want to bear that burden with you. So if you're in North Carolina, in the hard-hit area, all of America is wanting you to feel love. Hopefully you feel more than love. Hopefully you feel, bottled water. Hopefully you feel MREs. Hopefully you feel canned goods. Hopefully you feel some diapers coming your way, and some hope. So a lot of discouragement out there, but I will tell you, hope is what will get you through. Also, if you're grounded on Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, there's nothing out there that can stop you, because eternity, you will be in heaven, and a much better place. Thanks for watching.